everybody, welcome back to my channel and I hope you are doing so very well. So it's been a while since we've had a little bit of a chat, so I thought I would talk to you about my journal. Now, as you guys have watched, you saw the Journal Keeper series, or a day in the life of a journal, or a week in the life of a journal, whatever it was called, and a lot of questions came up about my journal because I haven't really talked about journaling and planning and things on my YouTube channel. So I thought it was time to sort of introduce to you what I am using for 2017 in journal wise. I will talk about my planner later on in another video, but today I'm just focusing quickly on my journal. Now, as you guys know, that you have always seen me journal in my gold Giramondo from Gilio, and that is what it looks like. You've seen it everywhere. I did a whole complete video on loving it. It is my forever journal and still will be. I just wanted to do an experiment this year with an A5, and you heard me, A5. So I've gone from this to this for the year of 2017, and my journal of choice is an A5 Sojourner in the natural leather with the Tola leather up top, and this is the Traveller because it has the pocket on the front. And I also asked Rowena to put some pockets at the back for me. This was modeled off one that was Babette's. I fell in love with hers. It's not exactly the same, but I do love it nonetheless. So this is my beauty. As you can see, it is very full at the moment, and it does weigh a ton. So that is a con in the A5 world. But when you love something, you deal with the weight. And I don't carry it around. Like, if I go shopping, I'm not going to go, woo, I'm going to take my A5 journal because I want to add a brick to my bag. No, I don't. So this is my journal itself. It is a A5 journal, and it is the Crossfield by Nanami paper, and I have covered it with my journal collage sheets that I have in Patreon, and I will be doing some collage sheets for Etsy coming very soon. But I decided that I hated the maroon cover of the Nanami paper, and it was just not me. I covered my Hobonichi as well, so you'll see that when I do my planner. But I decided that I couldn't stand it anymore. So before I went to hospital, because I had an operation recently, that's why it's been a bit MIA lately, I covered it because I was sick of seeing it. So this is currently what it looks like, and I'll do a quick flip since you guys haven't really seen anything. So I will actually go grab my other insert that was in here so I can show you basically my journaling from the last bit of last year to now, so you can get a look at what I've been doing, because I don't really share as much as I used to, but it's time to give you guys a sneak peek of my volume 4 that is in limbo, not finished, and this baby, which has got quite a few pages worked on it already. So I'll be right back. So this is my volume 4, and this is in the standard Midori 003. That is my preference when it comes to Midori inserts. It has not changed. And so this is basically where I started the 5th of August last year. So this is where 2016 is. And I did a journal with me with the Brimbles box by Mrs. Brimbles. And these are pages you either have or haven't seen. I might have snapped pictures, but these are journal with me's that are on Patreon. So this is some of the journaling that I did, and some of my glue. I've got some dodgy glue, obviously. A lot of the 4x4 Project Life cards as tip-ins, I was pretty obsessed with those. A lot of journaling, a lot of my illustrations. I was just having a blast with this insert. This was a follow-on periscope that I did with Rowena from Sojourner, and she was painting a sunflower. So after I'd watched that, I decided to paint my own sunflower, and this was done with Daniel Smith watercolors. My usual fun stuff, my Dymo old school labeler, this one, and little tip-ins and photographs and all that sort of thing. I do love the way this journal was headed, and you can see in my new journal that the style sort of shifts a bit, and that's because I got more creative freedom with an A5. I do feel like with the regular size you're a little bit stunted, but I still adore this size, and I may very well, once I finish this beast, go back to the regular size journaling. It is a lot easier to deal with almost So there's a picture of my kids. My daughter got roller skates for her birthday and she was so amazing on them. She fell and she fell and she fell, but she just got right back up. Another follow-on Periscope with Rowena with a feather. Just some watercolors and some of my collage sheets from Patreon. This was a journal with me over on Patreon as well. A lot of the stuff you guys probably haven't seen. And I know that if I mention Patreon a lot, it's because that is now my job. So it's where my most of my video content goes, because for the top level people, I do 2 videos a week, every week, all month. So there's a lot of content up there. This is when I went to go see the Frida exhibition in the city, and I met lovely people that are in my Patreon group, and I had a blast. And these are little tabs and things that I made that I couldn't quite fit in. I had such a good time at the Frida exhibition, and so I had to sort of journal my experience about it. This was actually a card that I bought in the gift shop, and so I cut it down to make it into a tip-in. But yeah, totally loved that day. It was so inspiring, and there's more there, but I loved it. Totally loved it. Hubby, I love hubby. Giant acetate numbers that I drew, and tip-ins, and these are the monthly tabs that I created. And pictures of Boo and Whimsy Warrior. Oop. And this is basically where I stopped in November. So there's that, and that was from the Superior Labour Company. So this is my pen roll. It's currently empty at the moment because I'm about to fill it up with some goodies. If you'd like to see a video on what I put inside this, comment down below and I will do that for you. And so that is where I stopped. So and that was because I did December daily, and that's why it stopped at November, because I did that in a separate insert. So that is where that journal went, and it's sitting at November. So if I come back, there will be, this much. This is from Babette. Nope, it's from Suzanne. Sorry. Suzanne sent it to me, but I'm pretty sure the tutorial is from Babette. So moving on to Big Mama. So this, I decided to make sort of semi-title pages for each month. So this is the January start, and I had to get used to the paper. Even though I have done stuff on Tomoe River paper before, I've never journaled on Tomoe River paper, so it was a massive learning curve. So I've been using a lot of fluid acrylics because I've gotten into acrylics again lately. This is tip-ins. Tip-ins on Tomoe River paper are very shifty things, and it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. So it's been very interesting working with this. This was done with mermaid markers, and this was a swatch page, and I transformed it into an artwork. And this was when I went on to art camp, and just sometimes I will do art on one page and write on another, but this was done at art camp and I had a blast. Some tip-ins. This is a acetate sheet that I got some of my collage sheets printed onto acetate, and I made a hole, so I turned it into a heart. But you guys have seen some of this because of the Week in the Life of a Journaler series. This was creating your own stamps with Kids Foam. More sort of, this is a tracing paper with some gold embossing and stamping with the handmade stamps. And I really liked how it looked, so I just turned it into a tip-in. And this was some jelly printing that I did, and so I turned that into a tip-in. When in doubt, turn it into a tip-in. You know, that's my rule of life. Notes from hubby, just general playing and black and white photos. I love the aspect of black and white photos against really bright, colorful stuff. It's sort of my jam. I do really love that. And more acetate with my collage sheets. Just general bits and bobs. Postcard from Rowena, the big rooster that I painted live for a video. Collage sheets. This page isn't quite done yet. As you guys know, that I journal in bits and bobs unless I'm doing a full-blown journal with me video. and something tribute to my granddad who passed away recently. And so both my nan and my granddad have both passed away, so I did a full-blown tribute. And if you don't know, there is a part 3 to the week in the life of a journal keeper, but I was so emotional filming it and voiceovering it that I didn't want to put it public to YouTube. So that video will stay unlisted and stay for Patreon people only, because I felt way too emotional to release that to 13,000 people or whoever comes across that video. There will be a part 4, but it's in the making at the moment. But yeah, part 3, I'm sorry you guys, I just don't feel comfortable sharing that side of me, or that sort of scared, upset, frightened, because it was literally just before my surgery, and my surgery put me in like some crazy heightened anxiety state, so I didn't feel comfortable releasing that video. So I hope you understand. So these are black and white photos that I took, and this is an original of one of my collage sheets that I decided to turn into a tip-in because it was February. Little characters. I created some windows in my journal and used my acetate sheets as like a stained glass window effect. So excuse me, I created 2 of those in different ways, and this is using some paint markers and just outlining color that had already been there. Kind of like this technique at the front, because I really liked how it turned out, even though this stuff here is just bleed through of this. So I decided instead of covering it up, I'd turn it into sort of an odd little pattern. So there's that, and some of my collage sheets again. And then this is currently where I'm at, and I'm just playing with ideas and sketching out ideas for collage sheets, that sort of thing. And so that is it. At the back I have a whole heap of pen testing to work out what can and can't go. Testing fountain pens and fountain pen inks and things like that. So that is literally, this is going to take me a very long time, but I am having a lot of fun. If you would like to see me work in my A5 journal for a journal with me, just comment down below as well. Also I have the pocket pouches and Jane Davenport washi holders in this book, because obviously it will hold, it's a bigger size. So I do pop that on a actual elastic, because I think these are really, really handy. And I want to play with these a bit more. So I've put things in there that I want to hold and play with. So there is that. And then I've got a whole heap of Happy Mail from Inkies that I've had in the last few days due to my surgery. So I have a whole heap of cards and things that I'm holding in the back there. And then I have a dashboard that I made. Oh, there's a photo stuck there of my family. So I have a kind of dashboard. I think that's what they call them. So I have that I created, and I'm actually going to create a dashboard tutorial for Jane. So keep an eye on Jane's blog for that. I've got lots of random things that I've gotten in mail, stickers, collage sheet items. There's all sorts of random bits and bobs that are sort of waiting to be rehomed into the pages of my journal. So they're just kind of there. I've got stickers here, random collage sheet things, a scrap monster someone sent me, postcard from Mitts. I have my Visconti, my fountain pen warranty or photographs. It's just a catch-all really. I need to keep those out. So I kind of have everything sort of popped in, and this is the Foxy Fix dashboard. I don't know what size, but it's for A5. So I have one of those in there. I have my original Scrap Monster because she holds a special place in my heart. I have a beautiful card by Suzanne. That's her photography back there, even though you can't really see it. So there's that. And then I have the Midori pocket holder with some inspirational quotes back there, so I need to add some more. And then in here I kind of have a Hobonichi stencil which needs to go into my planner, my Hobonichi Weeks thing, some washi tape samples that I got from Mitts that I hoard. And then in this back pocket I have a 4x4 tip-in original. I made these into collage sheets, so I've got the original there. I've got more washi tape samples that I received. I've got heaps. My Hobonichi Weeks what are these called? Pencil boards, but I don't know why it's not in there. My Valentine's Day from hubby, which made me cry my heart out. A quote that I received from one of my inkies, Patricia, that I held on to with dear life during my surgery, and cute happy mail from inkies that I've received lately. So there is all of that. And then this is a Hobonichi stencil in the A6 size with some of my monthly numbers and things that I create for collage sheets. So I use them in, you know, my planner or my journal, that sort of thing. And that, my loves, is it. That is my A5, I'll put all that back later. My A5 journal, my Sojourner, stay baby, stay. And that is what I am currently journaling in. I will do an updated journal supplies video for you guys because I do use a whole heap of different stuff and I've had a lot of questions about it. So I thought I'd just introduce you to what I'm journaling in and show you a bit of eye candy because I know they're some of my very favorite videos to watch. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have any questions, pop them down below. If you have any video requests, pop them down below. I know I've said this before, but the sewing book series is coming back. I've just had to take a break while I recover from major surgery and I am feeling more like myself. It's been a month since I've had surgery and I'm only just starting to get back on my feet creative wise. So don't fret, it is coming. I'm just really slow and really swamped with work and life at the moment. So I'm doing my very best, but I hope you've enjoyed this and I hope to see you back on my channel if you're new. I know I've had a whole rush of new subscribers, so thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Inky Nook and I will talk to you guys very soon. Take care, bye! How to draw or anything, but they are so inspiring to look at, especially when you're first starting out. I just excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I just truly love them. I can't say enough good things about him. I want all of his books and I will slowly acquire them all. I have another one of his which is about sketchbooks, but that's not just him, that's all around people, and that will be in the inspiration one. I'm pretty sure I've shown you guys anyway, but I just